All right, thank you. So I realise I am the person blocking you from getting your lunch. So I will be as quick as I can be, and I might skip a couple of slides. Is that the button? No, that's back. All right, so first of all, I'll introduce myself, and I want to introduce today the Advanced Propulsion Centre and give you an idea of what we do and how we can help you. I'll give you an example of a couple of projects that we've been supporting as well today. So I work within the Technology Trends team at the Advanced Propulsion Centre. My background is actually in materials science and materials characterization. So the things that get me really excited are thinking about how new materials or materials we already use but we could use better perhaps with better use of materials properties can advance innovations in the automotive industry to help reduce, ultimately for me, life cycle emissions by improving the efficiency of vehicles or by reducing their weight, for instance. So what does I'm going to press the wrong button again. Yeah, what does the Advanced Propulsion Centre actually do? Well, we provide funding, support, and technical and strategic insight for the automotive industry. So we work with our colleagues across the government and across industry and try to provide a platform for long-term investment and growth in the UK. We're looking to help build UK capability through R&D, development of industrialisation, and development of supply chain and skills. So we're here to help. We're here to help the automotive industry and everyone connected to the automotive industry to meet the goals, and particularly the goals of net zero by 2050. And just to give you an idea of how we fit in the funding landscape, so this is a picture of the funding landscape, and our three main funding streams are the Automotive Transformation Fund, the Collaborative R&D competitions, and the Technology Developer Accelerator Programme. So the Automotive Transformation Fund, often called ATF, 6 days left, by the way, on the current application if you want to try and sneak an application in. So this is a customized package where the APC will help you to build your proposal, will help you find partnerships, will help you find customers to work with, will help you secure finances beyond just the ATF funding itself, and help you find and secure facilities as well. So we're here to make sure you have long-term success after the project. It's not just a case of helping you on the project, but ensuring you've got that success afterwards. That supports capital investment, it supports feasibility studies, and it supports R&D projects, particularly late-stage R&D projects. The collaborative R&D competitions, or CR&D, this is about supporting late-stage R&D projects leading to a new product or process. The kind of scale of those projects is something like 5 to 40 million and 18 to 42 months. ATF is flexible, it can be much bigger, it can be smaller. And then finally, the Technology Developer Accelerator Programme, or TDAP. That is a fixed 18-month programme. I think it's a great programme personally. It's 135k that you get to spend essentially as you wish. But the great thing about that programme, it's about providing you with access to a network, access to mentors, and real support. So it's about helping small companies to grow and give them access to big players in the automotive industry that they might otherwise struggle to get without help from someone like the Advanced Propulsion Centre. So I'm just going to be a little bit indulgent and talk about the Technology Trends team because I'm a part of that, and Hadi, of course, spoke earlier with the panel. So we are here to support the development of the UK automotive strategy, and we do that by working with the Auto Council on the Auto Council roadmaps, and I'll give you an example of that in a moment. And we look at strategic opportunities for the UK. So we deliver insight pieces, insight reports, looking at supply chain, looking at opportunities and risks for the UK. We also can work with projects to help deliver business cases and look at assessments of opportunities for projects. So our roadmaps, these are all available on the website. Please do go and have a look. So they're split into 3 product roadmaps and the technology roadmaps. Each one comes with a document that supports you in understanding the roadmap and what you can actually use the roadmap for, how you can use that roadmap to inform your own strategy. In fact, the way I came across the APC was through these roadmaps, as I was looking for exactly that, a roadmap to help inform our strategy at the company I was previously with. So just to highlight one of them, I'm not going to go through this in detail, obviously, and it's probably quite difficult to read up there, but this is the power electronics roadmap. It gives you an idea of what they look like. To give a couple of highlights from this, so we've already heard about wide bandgap semiconductors today, and the importance of silicon carbide and gallium nitride and those being more widely adopted, and the supply chain, UK supply chain, which we'll talk about in the projects in a moment. Another item that's kind of gaining momentum and we're seeing more and more in the news is vehicle-to-grid and vehicle-to-home charging. Again, that needs the technology both on the home and on the vehicle to support it. So OVO Energy published something recently where they had demonstrated that you could get savings of up to £800 a year using vehicle-to-grid or vehicle-to-home charging. But that's on the sort of very best electronics that they had on a vehicle. So it differs depending on the technology on the vehicle. So I think we'll see a push there. And then finally, I get quite animated probably again about life cycle and life cycle analysis. As I said, for me, it's all about reducing the emissions ultimately. For power electronics, the majority of emissions, something like 80%, come from the production themselves. So not so much the supply chain, but the production. And so the thing to do there, and actually it was quite interesting in Francesco's talk earlier, I can't spot him now, is to look at simplifying the design. So we want to use as few components as possible and simplify the design, and that will really help with those production emissions as well. And of course, across many technologies, it's all about designing for reuse and recycling. So finally, I'd just like to talk about a couple of case studies of projects that have been supported by the APC. So the first one I'd like to talk about is High Vibes. So this is a project with Jaguar Land Rover, and they are developing an integrated power electronics system to be used across all of their battery electric vehicles. And this system has got some innovative thermal management in it, which helps with capacity and helps with fast charging. And also they're looking at adding two-way charging as well to enable the vehicle to grid and vehicle to home. But what's really great about this is the weight reduction and the packaging improvements. And weight reduction ultimately leads to improved range, which ultimately leads to improved life cycle emissions. Similarly, with Future BEV, that again is looking at technology which will improve packaging and reduce weight. But this is building upon the work of Escape, which was building a silicon carbide supply chain in the UK. Future BEV is going further than that and looking at subcomponents for both the power electronics and the powertrain and designing those together for the most efficient system. And ultimately getting to a point where that is making an impact in real business. So BMW and McLaren Applied are involved in that and involved in taking that out into the real world. Another part of that is developing skills in the UK as well. So hopefully we've heard a few things about skills and supply chain today. Hopefully these projects are a little bit of good news that there is investment and there is work in this, and this is just a couple of things that the APC are supporting. So just finally like to say in my last 40 seconds that we're here to help. I'm here all day. I think Joe's probably around all day over there. Give a wave, Joe. So please do come and talk to us. We want to talk to you. We want to help you. We're going to be at LCV next week. So if you're at LCV next week, a lot of us will be there. Please come and chat. Thanks very much.